Hello, I'm Sayojita. As you can see, today's video is a roti. In fact, it's the third installment in my series on whole wheat Indian flatbreads, the first two being Phulka and folded chapatis. Today I'm making parathas, plain ones and Lachchha Parathas. Parathas are richer and thicker than Phulkas or folded chapatis. They're therefore more suitable for occasional eating. They do, however, keep well and just need to be warmed up on a tawa before use. That makes them perfect as party food. Popular and convenient. No messy rolling and roasting. As always, for a vegan version, just use oil instead of ghee. I've used both in the video. Let's get started then.
Let's start with the plain parathas. The atta is the same as that used for Phulkas. The link is right here. And all the ingredients for the atta are also in the description box. I'm going to make these vegan using oil instead of ghee. The dough balls are 1.5 to 1 3/4 of an inch. They are more forgiving than the balls you need for Phulka. Few cracks in the ball will not affect the final out. I'm going to make these parathas in a square shape. Therefore, it's best to shape the ball into a squarish disc like this. These plain parathas are similar to folded chapatis. Here's the link to that video, except they are a bit richer and thicker. Therefore, the dough balls are slightly bigger. Roll this disc into a square about 5 inches on the side. It doesn't have to be exactly a square or a rectangle. Liberally spread the surface with oil. Fold it over and spread oil on the other half. Fold it again. Now what you have is a roughly square shape, quarter of the size of the earlier one. This will help make a nice square paratha. Preserve the square shape when you roll it. If you can recall, the folded chapatis are triangular and we started with a circle roti. Okay, that's done. It's about 6 inches on a side and a bit thicker than the folded chapati. I've turned on my cast iron tawa because it takes a while to heat. The tawa is hot, so here goes. The layers are already beginning to separate. The oil or ghee helps to do that. Flip it over and drizzle with oil. I'm using cold pressed groundnut oil. Flip over, oil the other side. The paratha is puffing nicely. Press down gently to hasten the cooking process, especially the edges and corners, which are usually a little thicker than the middle. The amount of oil you use to fry the paratha is really your choice. I've been quite liberal here, and therefore I think this paratha is more suitable for a special occasion or a party, especially if you want to make them ahead of time. Each paratha takes about 1.5 to 2 minutes to roast, depending on its thickness. This allows you plenty of time to roll the next one while one is roasting. Once you get the hang of the two things, you can just do it all in parallel. This paratha has been roasted to a beautiful brown color. Here I have served my plain parathas in a vegan meal of Bengali dal, vegan Palak Paneer and salad.
I hope you enjoyed making plain parathas. We'll move on to Lachchha Parathas next. Little more elaborate, but make a good change from just regular everyday rotis. These are layered parathas, still made with whole wheat. If you're finding this video useful, do hit the like button and share it with your friends. And please subscribe to my channel so I can bring you more content such as this. On to the lachchas.
Lachchha or flaky parathas are layered in a slightly different way. They are layered in concentric circles. These are also rich, therefore also apt for special occasions. These are even thicker than plain parathas, and like the plain parathas, The rolling process is two-step, but there the similarity ends. I've used slightly bigger dough balls this time. If you want to keep them the same size, your lachcha parathas will be smaller in diameter. Roll this ball into a thin roti, as thin as you can. Shape does not need to be perfectly round or square. Therefore, I think this is a good roti to make if you are a beginner and are still learning the art of rolling circles of dough. The thinner and bigger this roti is, the more flaky the paratha will be. I'm using ghee, but you can use oil for a vegan version. You can use more ghee if you want for a flakier, richer paratha. Fold this roti into accordion pleats. They need not be all even, roughly about half an inch or less on the side. Then you will end up with this flat rope. Lightly press down to secure the layers. Coil this rope like so. Secure the loose end. Flatten the disc. This is the disc that we will roll to make the paratha. The most efficient way is to make all the discs and keep them covered in a box or with a damp towel, and then roll the parathas just before you're serving or later all at once. Flatten the disc and roll it as thin as possible. The thicker it is, the longer it's going to take to cook all the way through. Concentric layers are clearly visible right here on this rolled paratha. The tawa is nice and hot, and here goes. Lachcha parathas are not going to puff. The layers are going to separate concentrically, so it will be kind of flaky. Although, it's not as flaky as a similar paratha made with maida or all-purpose flour, which is the Malabar Paratha. I will make that for you another time. Flip over and press down to allow the paratha to cook all the way through. It is quite a thick roti. Apply ghee or oil over the top if you want. You can leave them dry too. There is plenty of fat in the layers, so it still tastes quite delicious. This paratha is thicker and with multiple folds, so you must make sure that it is cooked all the way through to the center. Like ghee or oil on the other side if you like. This paratha is roasted nicely and it's smelling wonderful too. Store it in much the same way in a hot box lined with cloth or paper to absorb any moisture. As you can see, mine is not excessively greasy. Take a look at these flaky layers that have separated on both sides. I've served my lachcha parathas two ways. First, with my beetroot kofte in white gravy along with the salad. And second, as an accompaniment to chicken tikka masala and green bengan bharta.
With this video, we have come to the end of my 3-part series on whole wheat Indian flatbreads, Phulkas, folded chapatis and parathas. As you have seen, the same dough can be used to make 4 types of rotis of varying levels of richness and degrees of difficulty. With practice, you will master them all. Be on the lookout for the puri video coming soon. In the meanwhile, you can check out my playlist on Indian breads of all kinds. I'll see you again next week. Thank you for watching.